All right, Shalom, Lord in Christ. This is the Israelite School, universal and practical knowledge under Commanding General Yohana. And we have been called to teach the so-called Black, so-called Hispanics, and so-called Native American people that we are the children of Israel. If you could, please just give me a one in the chat if the sound is good. Looks like we got Just Art and Paint in the building. Shalom. We got Azariah Rakah in the building. That's my rib. Shalom. And we got Chrissy Judd in the building. Shalom, sisters. I appreciate y'all joining the class so we can get it on tonight. All right, so as you can see, tonight's class is titled America is Soft on Crime and Hard on Minorities. All right, so Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we should know what time it is. We should know exactly what time it is. If we go and we look in the scriptures, there are scriptures all over the place that let us know what type of time that we're in. Real quick, we're going to go to Revelations chapter 12 and verse, let me see, Revelations 12 and 12. 12 and 12. A lot of brothers and sisters want to know, in Thawada, Chrissy, Sister Chrissy, a lot of brothers and sisters want to know why we are having the issues that we're having today. They want to know why ICE is coming down on our people so heavy. They want to know why it seems like crimes are addressed on certain sides, but not on others. And why the oppressor is just so heavy with his boot, on our necks. Revelations 12 and 12. It lets you know what time it is. Give me 1 second. Let me get this right. All right. This is the book of Revelations chapter 12 and verse 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you. This is talking about the oppressor coming down to us. This is not talking about somebody that has a pitchfork and horns coming down to us. This is talking about somebody who is in power, somebody that's wicked, somebody who has children on islands, somebody who has badges. All of these attributes of the devil can be pretty much summed up with our oppressor today. Right. It says, woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. So we know what time it is, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, or do we? You ever, Cap, you ever hear where a robber get the gun out real quick and he'll be like, you know what time it is? No. Right. That's what we need to know, because if we see somebody with a ski mask, coming running down on us, we know what time it is. But the thing is, the people that are trying to rob us, the people that are trying to destroy us, they know what time it is, but do you? The people that are doing all of this evil stuff to us, the politicians and the lobbyists and all these people are in cahoots with them. Take a look at he's after the blacks, the West Indians, anybody that Trump can get his hands on and squeeze, he's going to do it. He knows he has a short time. Trump absolutely knows it. 1 second. All right, let me see. Okay, looks like let me see. I might let me see. Give me one. Are we good with the audio now? They said they might have lost the audio. Let me know if we good. Salakia, bear with me for one moment. Let me go ahead and check something for us. All right, no sweat, no sweat. So, I just wanted to remove myself from the screen real quick. Trump is more interested in the war on making money. If I'm not mistaken, there was just that deal with Israel to where now that money from Venezuela is going to go to Israel. A lot of people really thought Trump was the type of person that was a Christian. They said Trump was a they pretty much said Trump was a devout man. He was the type of person who was sent by God. Let me pull up something real quick that they said about Trump. They said Trump was from God. Somebody like Trump, they said Trump was from God. Let me see. It's the Bible. Let me see. You know what? I'll just go straight to it because we're not going to be here all day. Give me 1 second. And Shalom Wyaquan. Oh no, I'm too wild. I actually have a video I wanted to play really quick. You guys will not be able to hear or see me in the background, but I'm gonna just let it play for 25 seconds so y'all can see what the leader of the free world is actually like and see what type of person.
Doing an interview and you talked about how you hope to end the war in Ukraine because it might help you get into heaven. How does this help? Does this help?
I mean, you know, I'm being a little cute. I don't think there's anything going to get me in heaven. Okay, I really don't. I think I'm not maybe heaven bound. I may be in heaven right now as we fly in Air Force One. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to make heaven.
Literally, like this is a quote that I've had with Trump before. This is something that people talk about, but when you actually see it, this man is talking about pretty much he has his heaven now. When the scripture says the devil knows he has a short time, it's talking about people like Trump. They want to get it while they can. They're going to squeeze every single ounce of power that they have on the American people, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, the people across the West Indies, everybody's going to get it. You should know what that robber is about when he says what time it is. I'm going to go ahead and go to Hebrews chapter, and I'm going to give you all a second to get there with me. Hebrews 11:3. Because when we talk about the world that we're living in, we should know that the world has a context to it. So hopefully y'all got there. I'm gonna go ahead and get it on. This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 11 and verse 3. Through faith, we understand that the worlds, plural, the worlds were framed by the word of God, so that things which are seen were not made of the things which do appear. That right there is letting you know that there's more than one world. Absolutely. So in 1 John 2:15, when it says love not the world, you know that it's a context behind that. In Isaiah 45:17, which you guys should write this down and look it up, it calls Israel the world without end. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, if you know what time it is, you know what the world is that we live in today. We live in the Western world. You had something you wanted to say, Kat?
No, what I was just saying is that, you know, like I think it's just like, you know, the pastors, they did an incredible disservice to the people, you know what I mean? Like, because
Absolutely.
of the fact of like these concepts that you're bringing out right now shouldn't be new concepts. You know what I'm saying? These concepts should already be in the hearts and minds of people because we've been going to church for 400 years.
Right.
So you would think that we would understand a different context with world and all of those different things, but it's just like, we don't know.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And that's why I say, like, you know, if you are in a church or anything like that, you should run out of that church because you are not getting any kind of knowledge by being there.
Absolutely nothing.
And this is why, like, the church now is just a bunch of homosexuals and women.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's why I say a woman that could come into into here, a woman that could get the kind of understanding that we get, right? and a woman is able to change her life, you know, and transform herself into what the Lord wants, you know what I mean? Then that woman is far above rubies.
Damn right.
Right. But, you know, but the fact remains is that a lot of our people are still lost, and it just shows that it's a whole lot more work for us to do.
No, it absolutely does show that. And the fact of the matter is we're gonna have to wake up and really see what's going on out here. We're gonna have to stop sleeping on our enemies, because there's no reason for somebody from a completely different country that's an East Indian or an Asian or a Russian or a Ukrainian to be safer in America than we are when we built the place. But the Christian church won't let you differentiate between people like the Most High does. The Christian church will say everybody loves God. God loves everybody. If their Christian God, if their white Jesus loves everybody, then why in the world was there a Hispanic woman that was shot 5 times?
If I may, it's because, you know, like the concept, you know, if what you're bringing out is heavy, you know, it's like the concept of like, okay, God made all humans.
Right. Right.
But, you know, people can't understand the concept of that he might have a favorite group of humans that he made.
Absolutely.
You know, it's just like how you might have a favorite pair of sneakers that you like. Now,
right.
You got a whole lot of sneaks, but these might be the sneaks that you like to put on the most, or the ones that go along with your outfits a little bit better than the rest of them. You get my point? Or if you got a bunch of different dogs, canine breeds, you know, of dogs, but it might be this particular dog that you like over the rest of the dogs.
Absolutely.
That doesn't mean that you don't necessarily like the rest of the dogs, but it just means that, you know, you like a pit bull, you love a pit bull more than you love a Shih Tzu.
Absolutely.
Right? So I think that when people, they get misconstrued is like the understanding that God has a people that he prefers out of all of the people that are on the earth.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And I think that that's the part that gets a lot of people jammed up. But if I could, I think that one of the main things that a lot of our people get caught up in is what they perceive as fun. And I'll say that, and I am not trying to take a lot of time.
No sweat.
It's fun because we always want to turn up. You know, Absolutely. We always want to have a good time. We always want to just stand on the couches and pop bottles, right? But the oppressor is not like that. The oppressor is very analytical. So when he looks at things from an analytical perspective. So he's like, okay, how can I enslave these people?
Right.
How can I run laps around them and make them not be able to know what's going on? You see what I'm saying?
Not of one kind.
We're very like neurotic. Like we just kind of go based off of feelings. Like, and I always say it, and you know what I'm saying. It's like when you look at Trump is not doing anything that we shouldn't be doing for our people.
Right.
You get my point? Because he's strategizing and figuring out what's the best way to move for his people to get resources and rob people around the earth. But it's like when it comes to how he is like how we should be. You know what I mean? Absolutely. And what we got to be more racist. We got to be more, you know, like who said that we had to be the moral, you know, we had to take the moral high ground on every goddamn thing in the world. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, no, what we need to do is be more selfish, because racism absolutely works.
It does.
Racism works. You know what I mean? And, you know, and what you bringing out, like, you know, I'm gonna get off of it, but what you bringing out is so heavy. That's why I can't shut the hell up. You know what I mean? But, you know, no, I yield. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. If I could, I'm gonna just bring out a precept about what you just said about, you know, why can't God have a favorite people? Because even though God made every man, every person is not the child or children of God.
Where you got to go?
It's 2nd Ezra, chapter 6 and 54. No, sir, I can take care, because I'm gonna just read this and I'm gonna bounce back to one of the videos that I wanted to, because I got it keyed up already. In the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 6 and 54, if y'all think we're lying about what we're saying when God has a favorite, it says, and after these, Adam also, thou madest Lord of all thy creatures.
Let me read it, man.
You sure?
Yeah, let me read that shit, man.
All right, no sweat.
Lucky.
It's right there. It's in my notes.
Yeah. All right, let me read it. Okay.
And they commenting on what you said in the chat. They said, so heavy, sir. That oppressor definitely looks to exploit any opportunity.
Hold on. Let me just hold that real quick.
Khan
I gotta read it. I have to.
No,
I
sir.
have to read that scripture.
Khan out of one Khan. While you do that, I do have something that while you find that, I did want to play something for the brothers and sisters.
Ezra 6:54, right?
Khan out of one Khan. Because we're gonna notice how despicable and disgusting the oppressor is. We're gonna, after a while, it's gonna like we see it now because we're looking at the world through a spiritual eye. We can't be so carnal. Yes, Slagia, I don't want it. 2nd Ezra, chapter 6 and 54. And I'll wait to play the video. And with a spiritual eye, you can see exactly what's going on. But the Lord does have a favorite. Cap is about to let y'all know that what he was saying was from the oracles of the Most High God.
All right, this is 2nd Ezra chapter 6, verse 54. And after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures.
Right.
Of him come we all. And the people also whom thou hast chosen.
Absolutely.
All this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sakes. And as verse 56, and as for the other people, which also come from Adam, thou hast said they are nothing, but be like unto spittle, and liken the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel.
We need to look at how the Lord sees these other people and realize they shouldn't rule over us. The people that the Lord has enmity with rule over us as we speak. And we think that such a evil, wicked people that the Lord is going to eventually destroy is going to give us a fair shake, and we're absolutely wrong. Let me get back to it. Give me 1 second. All right. So we already know that there are different types of worlds. You have the sea world, you have different worlds. I'm not even gonna go into it because I go into it all the time, but right now we are under the Western world. There's even a definition for that context. It says the Western world, also known as the West, primarily refers to various nations and states in Western Europe, North America, and Australia. So if you and even Eastern Europe, they would say that's the Western world. If you look at the Western world controls everything. They have the power to decide who lives, who dies, who gets monies, as far as like a power standpoint, a policy standpoint. The Western world decided to put Native Americans on reservations. The Western world decided to put Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans all in slavery. They are the ones that decided, and till this day, there is not a fair shake that we as the minority can get from this oppressor. We can't get a fair shake. Look at our brothers and sisters, how the Western world has treated them. And let's talk specifically about the Mexicans, because they've been treated just like the Native Americans and Blacks. They were conquered like us. They were enslaved like us by the Western world. The land was stolen from Mexicans. At one point in time, you had Blacks and Mexicans fighting against this oppressor. Famous people like Davy Crockett died at the Battle of the Alamo when Blacks and Hispanics were together. And then after the land was stolen, and real quick, the fight about what was going on was the oppressor wanted to keep slavery going, and Mexico said, no, you cannot have slaves over here, and we fought. And then look at it today. If you look up different books, y'all just saw the Super Bowl, right? You have no idea what the United States and Britain have done to all the Hispanic countries. There's one book in particular. I'm a butcher the name, but it's called War on All Puerto Ricans. I believe that's what it's called. If my rib could get me right, it's called War on All Puerto Ricans. They destroyed the leaders over in Puerto Rico, subjugated the people. They did the same thing to Mexico, stole the land and ran them off. And then now they've destroyed the countries to where the same people that they destroyed, they want to, and it's called War Against All Puerto Ricans. And they want to wonder why Mexicans will want to run back to the United States is because the DEA and other government agencies worked with drug cartels to destabilize that country. Why wouldn't they want to come over here for safety? Right. They're actually running from the very oppressor that destroyed their country into the arms of the oppressor that's going to put them in cages. And we don't even know that. We come over here and we get abused. And we don't even know what time it is. We don't. Count out of one.
Out so heavy. I'm trying to be quiet over there.
No sweat, sir.
I'm trying to be quiet. But you're absolutely right. I got a Mexican buddy named Emilio.
Emilio.
And Emilio, he got deported and he came right back.
Oh, most of Christ.
But he told me what he did was he walked through the desert of Arizona for about 8 days. He walked through the desert. You know what I mean? When he crossed the border in Mexico, walked through and then he hitchhiked from Arizona back to California, where he met up with his peoples in California, and they gave him a bus ticket. And the bus ticket, he was able to come all the way back to Delaware from California on the bus ticket. And that just shows like the determination. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, what in the world and what atrocities do you have to suffer to walk for 8 days in the desert and take buses and have to, do an entire journey? What was the journey from Egypt to Israel? Wasn't it less than 8 days?
Yeah. And he actually, he ate canned food and stuff like that. And I remember when he got deported, and I think he got deported because a Puerto Rican called ICE on him.
I was just going to get to that.
No,
not at all.
Okay.
I can segue in and skip over it. But if you had more, please do.
I'm gonna end it out right here. You know what I mean?
Take
this is a heavy class, what you're bringing out is heavy.
Most on Christ.
Okay, so he came back, and I realized that the Puerto Ricans that are here, black people that are here, and all that come at the Hispanic tribes that are trying to get here and trying to find a way. It's because we so goddamn spoiled in America under this being in this first world.
Absolutely.
That we start finding ourselves following after the oppressor and taking on his ways.
Absolutely.
And then it's like we start to turn our nose up at people that are in a situation that if you was in that situation, you would do the exact same thing.
The exact same.
I yield, Salaki.
Absolutely. So I would pray that I had that type of determination, because if there's not food in the house, the typical American is going to try to Uber and not even walk to the store nowadays. We so lazy, but the brother was so determined. He wanted to get back to some sort of peace of mind and safety that he thought he could have. But unfortunately, this Western world has made many systems that destroy us. And if God loves everybody, like if their white Jesus and their white God love everybody, you would have to tell me where is the justice and the fairness? What system was made by us minorities against the oppressor? Absolutely none. But what system was made by the oppressor against us? The criminal justice system is one of them. The criminal justice system is beyond fair. It's beyond ridiculous, the amount of time that a Black, Hispanic, or a Native American can get for the same time. If you look at who fuels the criminal justice system and arresting us, those were slave catchers. That is a system that was put in place to destroy us. Have we done that to them? Isn't it okay for us to have a certain amount of hatred for the acts, at least that they've done? But Christianity will say something to the effect of to have hate is evil. When the scriptures say, when I believe it was King David, he said he hates with a perfect hatred because he hates what the Most High hates. What's another system? The healthcare system was something that was made to destroy us. Did they not make sure we had to pay a certain amount for the healthcare system so blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans couldn't get healthcare? They went on record and said the reason why healthcare in America is not free is because they don't want blacks to have healthcare. And then you have nurses that are in the healthcare system that are breaking the bones of our infants. Go ahead, sir.
And what you bring out is so heavy because we wouldn't even need to have a healthcare system for black people if it wasn't for Martin Luther King.
Absolutely.
You get my point? Because think about it. During segregation, we had hospitals.
Absolutely.
There was no need to have a healthcare system because we created our own healthcare system.
Right.
There was no need to have that. But what happened? Martin Luther King convinced us that our destiny lied in the hands of getting along with white people.
Absolutely.
And because of that, when we got with them and we integrated into a system without power, by default, if you don't have power when you integrate. Now, let me just follow that up by saying this. Integration works if on a level of financially, it can be beneficial to everybody because but you have to have power when you enter into that contract of integration. Because meaning this, when you have the Arabs, they have the Arab countries as their backing for their power. When you have the Chinese here, they have China. The Japanese have Japan.
Right.
The Koreans have Korea. They have a power base that backs them. So when they go into this contract of integration, it actually works for them because they have the backing so that they don't get taken advantage of. Now, when you got black people, right, into this system of integration without power, without a governing body to back them up, by default, we become consumers.
Absolutely.
And this is why when we're in this integration, which was a horrible decision for Martin Luther King to try to make, to make at that time, because now we can look back at it and see all the blind spots that he had at that time. But that was a horrible decision because now our business is closed, our infrastructure closed. So what happens? The East Indians, they get all our liquor money, right? They get all our liquor money, they get all our donut money, all our coffee. The America runs on Dunkin'? No, it runs on the East Indians, coffee and donuts in the morning, right?
Right.
The sisters, beauty supplies, right? Which sisters don't even need beauty supplies. You know what I mean? They don't even need beauty supplies because if you're already beautiful, then why the hell do you need a goddamn supply? But that's beside the point. That's another point.
Right.
But what I'm saying is all these other nations, basically, because they integrated into a system, we by default become the prey in the system. Because who does all the sisters' hair? The Eastern, the Koreans and the Asians and all of that.
Right.
I remember a sister told me, and I'm gonna be off of it. A sister told me, she said, the reason that black women, I said, why don't black women get together and start doing each other's nails and feet and all of that? She said, well, the reason that black women don't do each other's feet is because we don't want to touch other black women's feet. I said, well, damn. Well, what did you do in the 1900s? Right?
Right.
What the hell did you do in 1908? You were touching another sister's foot.
Right.
Because do you think that they weren't getting pedicures in 1908?
They was doing some type of
they was doing something to get them nails, them toes and the nails right?
Right. Kind out of one con.
What's the difference from then until now?
Kind out of one con.
Is everything that you've been talking about. Not understanding who the devil is. You know what I mean? Because the devil made us turn against each other. You know what I'm saying?
No, absolutely. Absolutely. Every point that you touch on reminds me of the different things that I see wrong and that I've learned through the ISUPK. And one of them is the fact that through integration, not only did we lose everything, but anything that we are getting, like if we get an amazing black doctor, that's not going to really help black people. That's going to go to the kingdom that oppresses us. Like all of those women that were literally computers and used for NASA, that didn't help black people. Their greatness doesn't help black people. It helps the oppressor because we're integrated, and the top, the oppressor, the power gets all of the goodness from us. And then the few bad people, they show that on the news and make it look like we're nothing. But we invented everything. I can't remember the brother's name, and I'll try to bring it out the next class we have. He's the reason why we have AI now. He's the reason he created these complex chips and these complex, I don't want to say theories, but calculations that made it possible for AI. He's the founder of AI, pretty much. One of a few black guys. But AI doesn't really benefit black people as far as putting money in our pockets. It benefits the oppressor. Now the oppressor can go ahead and make fake videos and frame us. Now the oppressor can go to the moon and go across the world and have ICBM missiles that can launch from the water and hit another country because black women did calculations. That doesn't help us. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and move on from that point. Give me 1 second. All right. All right. So if we look at the way the world is going, I'm gonna go ahead and read Isaiah. Let me see, 31:1, and there's a video I want to play to prove the point of what's going on in this world. Because, Cap, I know you see what's going on in the news with what's her name, Bondi?
Yeah, Bondi.
Oh my goodness.
It's horrible, right?
It's like if the circus that's happening right now, you should know you can't get any justice. The people that oppress us are being oppressed by richer, more powerful people right now. Like the Democrats are oppressive people. They are, point blank. They want to transform your kids into something different that they weren't born as. And you know what I thought, Cap? I remember I forgot who it was. It was either Muhammad Ali or it was Malcolm X, one of the brothers. And even though we don't have the same beliefs as them, every so often they would be right on the money with some of the stuff they would say.
Right.
And they would say that the Democrats or the liberals are like the fox. They would say the far right wing people are like the wolf. Either way, you don't want a wolf or a fox around your children. The Democrats are trying to ease the children into the assault. The Republicans, man, they getting them people on that island and they are being animals.
If I could, you said somebody who you talking about that made good points.
I believe it was Malcolm X calling the liberals foxes as far as when it comes to black people.
That makes me think about a point I was trying to make. Malcolm X, right? Malcolm X. That's why it's important, man. If you in the truth, man, you make sure people say your goddamn name.
Damn.
Because people will not want to say your goddamn name.
Right.
All right. Malcolm X. People was like, oh yeah, it's Malcolm Little. It's Cassius Clay.
Right.
God damn it, my name was Muhammad Ali.
Right.
If your name is given to you, man, make people say your name.
Damn right.
If your name is ISUPK.
Right. Right.
Tell people that's your name. Because people be like, I say, who? It's like, no, this is what my name is.
Damn right.
Because it's so crazy, and that's the point I was trying to make.
No sweat.
It's so crazy that we could call a rapper OT7 Quantity or Von Off 1700.
Right.
But you can't say Tazion or Kahal.
Right.
Kahal.
Right.
You know my point? So always stand on you know what I mean, you being in a goddamn truth, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's why it's so heavy that you stand on it in these times that we in right now, because of course, you know, you see the climate that's going on. And Pam Bondi, what you bringing out is so heavy, is like those congressional oversight committees is political theater. Nobody goes there to answer a straight question. Why? Because they know if you answer the question the straight way, it's going to trap you in a box. And before you get trapped in a box, you will fight every single way so that you don't have to go into the box.
Right.
That's why Pam Bondi will get up there. What's the dude? The guy who's the FBI director, Kash Patel.
Right.
That's why they'll all go up there and not say a goddamn thing because they don't want to get put in the box.
You asked Kash Patel a question, he like.
Exactly. So it's like political theater. You're never going to get. And if you listen to if seeing the Epstein files and what's being brought out in the Epstein files about them, you know, eating kids and all kinds of stuff like that. If you still believe in politics, then you, brother or sister, or an asshole, and you were very, very stupid.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like I yield.
No sweat, sir. What you saying is heavy. And you know, the brothers and sisters in the chat, they making a lot of good points with what you saying. They said, but they don't got a problem saying Schwarzenegger.
Right.
Captain Arya said, niggas act like my name is Chinese.
Right. His name is Arya.
Right.
Arya. That's it. It's Arya.
Right.
You know what I mean? They be like, but you could say Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Right. Lewandowski.
Exactly.
Goodness. But what we need to realize is even in the name, they would rather like, but if we have a name like Tyrone, Jamal, Hakeem, they'll make fun of that. The oppressor will make fun of that. The oppressor will call you Jerome or Tyrone, knowing damn well that's not your name, because the oppressor does not respect us. Black people are not respected in this country. We are on the lowest rung of the totem pole, the lowest rung. People come over here, build businesses, send the money back. People come over here, sell us food, and when we come into their stores and their restaurants, they act like they're doing us a favor, and we make them millions from our neighborhood. We make them millions. All right. And in Isaiah, let me get to it real quick. Isaiah 31:1. And you sure?
Yeah, I mean,
no sweat, sir.
Come on now.
Is it 30? It should be 31:1.
31.
Con out of one con.
No sweat.
We don't need to trust in this place.
Isaiah chapter 31:1. Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help and stay on horses and trust in chariots, because they are many, and in horsemen, because they are very strong. But they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek the Lord. That's verse 1.
That's it. Right. I just wanted to point out the fact that the reason why these people believe, our brothers and sisters believe, that they should trust in the oppressor is because of how powerful the oppressor looks. But there's going to come a certain point in time in the future to where we look and we say, is this really the person that we looked at as having so much power? The person that made the earth shake? Those nuclear warheads, those armies, those jets are going to mean absolutely nothing. Don't trust in it. Don't think you can get justice from this place. You can't. We can see live and live in color on the idiot box, moving, talking people that are literally showing you can't get justice. We're going to play the video right now. It's what's her name? Pam Bondi.
She's the United States Attorney General.
Right. Let's hear what Pam Bondi has to say.
This guy has Trump derangement syndrome. He needs to get, you're a failed politician. You don't get to reclaim time when you don't,
bigger than Watergate.
when I don't answer a question the way
This
you
goes
want.
over 4 administrations. You don't have to go back to Biden. Let's go back to Obama. Let's go back to George Bush. This cover-up spans decades, and you are responsible for this portion of it. Behind me, I have 3 documents from the DOJ production that are emblematic of the massive failure of the DOJ to comply with the Epstein Files Transparency Act. To my right is an email that was sent by the victim's.
So as you can see, they're talking about the Epstein files. I'll continue the video, but I want to kind of break it down a little bit. They're talking about the Epstein files, and there were victims whose names were released. The victims' names were supposed to be redacted because they're victims. They're supposed to be protected. Haven't Black people, Hispanic people, and Native Americans been victims in this country? Haven't the people that are over us and make the laws and make the policies that actually hurt us, the people who send their police officers that assault our women and unalive our men, aren't they in charge, and aren't they supposed to be helping us? But when we blame them for what they're doing to us, they say that we're pulling the victim card. But here you can clearly see that there are victims that were supposed to be protected. They were not protected. Their names were released. And then you're going to see that the assailants' names were actually redacted, which means they were blotted out in black. The victims were supposed to be protected, but they weren't. The assailants were supposed to be put out, but they were not. Let's continue.
Lawyers to the DOJ. It was a list of names not to redact, a list of names not to release. What did the DOJ do with this email? They released this email in the document production. Literally the worst thing you could do to the survivors, you did. And they're getting phone calls. A lot of these people didn't want to be known. And we know.
Look at this devil's face while he's telling, she won't even make eye contact with him. These are the people that are on the rule. And make no mistake, this isn't just Pam Bondi by herself. This is a conglomerate. This is a, what's the word I'm looking for? This is a collusion of all of these powers that don't want these out. And don't think it's just the Republicans. Aren't there Democratic names that are in these files? Yes. Go ahead, Cap. You about to drop something heavy. I know it.
I'm trying to shut up.
No, you too wild, sir. You too wild.
Dropping is so heavy tonight.
It's
hard for me to be quiet.
Most Christ.
You know, Pam Bondi, you can see all over her face that she knows what is being said is right. But morally it's conflicting in her mind,
right,
in real time. So you see like her face and her facial expressions and stuff like that, because what the lady is actually asking her and what the people are actually asking her is right. But morally she is supposed to agree with them and say, you're right, we should be talking to the chief of staff, the chief people that have chief positions in the Trump administration about being in the Epstein files. But she can't do it.
Right.
Because it will go against her party.
Right.
And it would go against her job and those things that, you know, that she benefits from. So she will try to deflect as much as she can to make it just get by without having to really answer any questions about what's really going on.
Right.
She completely understands, because as a attorney general, she is obligated and she's sworn in to protect and defend the Constitution, the law, and everything. But she's conflicting with her oath and her bosses.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So what you're going to see is her just deflect over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. And then the meeting is going to be over and nothing's going to get to the cat, nothing's going to be handled. It's just kind of like those things where you just got to kind of take away the deeper meaning in what's going on.
Right.
But if you can look at this and still say we should vote, or we should just elect the best politician that's going to go into office, then you are just dumb and you're ill-educated and you believe in this system when there is no hope in this system. And it's actually coming out in real time the Lord is revealing the man of sin right in front of your face.
Absolutely.
And we don't want to. And unfortunately, I think that we won't necessarily catch it because we'll just say, well, all white people ain't bad. That's just those people that are just in high power.
Right, right.
You know, and then we're back at square one again.
Back at square one. And then let's say if the Democrats, if they get back in power, it's just going to be something else, because make no mistake, like we're trying to tell you, there's people that are Democrats that have their names in those documents and they don't want it to be revealed. If I'm not mistaken, Hillary and Bill Clinton are named in those documents, right?
Right. Like, I ain't gonna cut you off.
No sweat.
But like, like, okay, if you could speed every day and no cop would ever pull you over, would you speed?
Absolutely.
Right.
Right.
Would you, you know what I mean? Would you just weave in and out the cars, you know, that's going the speed limit if you could speed and never ever get pulled over? Or would you take money and would you never pay taxes if you could just get away with never paying taxes? You probably would.
Yeah.
Right? Because you say, well, they ain't nobody gonna do nothing, you know what I'm saying? And this is how they look at it. They look at it like, well, we can molest these kids, we can, you know, do these things to kids, and we can never be prosecuted for it. And we can go to an island and we can abduct kids all around the earth and nobody would ever do anything. Would you do it? Yes, they would, because
absolutely.
Why would they not do it if they could not be prosecuted for the things that they do? And what you're seeing right now is supposed to be the Attorney General of the United States of America that's supposed to uphold the law, uphold the Constitution, uphold the moral compass that we all should abide by. But what she is telling you and showing you with her nonverbals on her face is that there is two different Americas. There's an America for poor people, and there's an America for rich people.
Absolutely.
And could you please pull that one scripture where I think it's hold on, let me see. It's a lock here. Is my phone over there?
Just tell me the words. I'll look it up.
Ruleth. I think it's in Proverbs.
Is it the one where it's the rich rulers over the poor?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, that is in Proverbs. Let me get that real quick. I'll go ahead and read it for you. It should be Proverbs 22.
Go ahead, whenever you're ready.
Khan out of one Khan. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 22, and verse 7. The rich ruleth over the poor.
Say it one more time.
The rich ruleth over the poor.
Say it one more time for the sister in class.
The rich ruleth over the poor.
And that's what Pam Bondi is showing you right there.
Absolutely.
The rich rule over the poor. So you may think that America should be one way, and because you got to go through what you got to go through, but what is Pam Bondi showing you?
The rich ruleth over the poor.
There you go.
Damn right.
Now you can get understanding.
Damn right.
Now this brouhaha of the situation can make sense.
Right.
And you'll be able to compartmentalize these things because, say it one more time.
The rich ruleth over the poor.
Thank you. I yield.
Most High in Christ. What Cap is saying is absolutely heavy. We're going to keep playing the video, and you can see that there ain't no brother that can commit all these crimes and get away with it. There ain't no brother that can continue and do stuff to the point of just being in contempt. There were people that were supposed to show up to court, and they really stonewalled and didn't show up. They did not show up. But I digress. Let me go ahead and play this for us real quick. Salakia.
Oh, you touched the document because you redacted one name and you redacted the lawyer's name, but you left the survivor's name there. The next document I want to show you, that was in the title, the victims' survivors' names, all right? The title of this one is Child Sex Trafficking, Co-Conspirators, fully redacted. And by the way, I'm going to unredact them here. Les Wexner is in this. Now, your your deputy attorney general said, oh, well, he appears hundreds of times in the files. But he doesn't appear in this file until I forced you to release it, where he's listed as a co-conspirator, not to tax evasion, but to child sex trafficking, not to prostitution.
Like, what type of world do we live in where people can get away with this? The scriptures have told us time and time again, the wicked rule the earth, or excuse me, the world is given into the hand of the wicked. I'm paraphrasing. Who can do something like this and get away with it? She does not give a damn about those children. The victims are in court. You're gonna, if I pull the right clip, y'all gonna see the victims are in court, and you expect to get justice from a place like this, a place where they are arresting American citizens because they have dark hair and have a Hispanic accent. You think you're gonna get justice in a place like that? And when we say that God does not love everybody, when we say that we love our people first, we're the crazy ones. We're the people that are the hateful ones. The same people that are doing all these disgusting things with children, the same people that are hurting victims, the same people that are allowing the atrocities to go on around the world in Palestine and paying the people that are doing it. Those are the same people that called ISUPK a hate group. Those are the same people. But here you can see their true colors. We're going to keep playing the video.
Prostitution, not to money laundering, child sex trafficking. And then finally, what we have here is the third exhibit that I have is emblematic of the FD302 release. These are the documents that we need that you're holding on to and over redacting because they have the names of the men who are implicated. How do we know? Because the survivors gave testimony to the FBI, and it's in there. And what happens when you go to the portal at the DOJ to look at what's behind this redaction? Another redaction. So we can't even see.
This man just said the survivors gave testimony to the FBI, and the FBI has not even acted on it. And after the FBI got a hold of certain files, the FBI protected the people that committed the crimes. But you want to call Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans the criminals. And you have the most powerful people on the planet committing these type of atrocities.
See them. And then there's some of these files you've pulled down from the website that we will never see because we can't search the redactions. So I have several questions for you. Who's responsible? Are you able to track who in your organization made this massive failure and released the victims' names? Are you able to track who it was that obscured Les Wexner's name as a co-conspirator in an FBI document? Do you have that kind of accountability?
I believe Wexner's name was listed more than 4,000 times.
Yeah, I already told you that. This is where he's listed as a co-conspirator.
Can I finish my answer? Come on, let me.
Many troglodytes don't even have decorum in a courtroom on television that's being shown around the world. This is the America that we live in. Well, what is this on CBS? They're arguing amongst each other when they both clearly know what the problem is and who the problem is. Let me get to the next video. I want to point something out. Let me go ahead and remove this. I got a couple videos. You guys will not be able to hear me when I play this, but these videos need to be played. And I just want to read something real quick because like I've been saying, and I'm going to remove myself from the screen. You is soft on all the pedophiles. America is soft on all of the robberies that are happening around America. Did Brett Favre do time when he stole money from poor people? Hell no. Did any of these pedophiles do time? No. The only person that you're seeing that has suffered is Jeffrey Epstein, because they just used him and was like, okay, somebody took him out. We'll place the blame on him. And then everybody involved, the co-conspirators, are safe. The co-conspirators are safe. During the riots of January 6th, that should have pointed out to what was really going on, but they said that that wasn't really riots. That's what they said. Let me go ahead and pull something up for y'all real quick. We'll get into a couple videos and then we'll get ready to get up out of here. Let me get that for y'all. Give me 1 second. All right. So this is a document. This is from the United States Department of Justice. And the writing might be a little bit small, but you'll be able to see. And I'll go ahead and read a little bit of it for y'all. But the January 6th riots were so bad that the United States government at the time, they had to ask for $101.2 million. Because of what? Because of domestic terrorism. I'm going to just read a little bit of this document and I'll go to the next one as well. It says the January 6, 2021 assault on the Capitol is but the most recent and visible example of the domestic terrorism threat. The deluge of electronically stored information from the January 6th event and the increasing number of cases and defendants have demonstrated that the department's domestic terrorism response capability requires additional resources to protect safety. But if you listen to the far right, they'll tell you that nothing happened on January 6th and it was a peaceful protest. But you have the Department of Justice in 2022 trying to increase their budget because of domestic terrorism. And do you know what Donald Trump did? Donald Trump decided that even though the Department of Justice had released this information, even though the Department of Justice had called these people domestic terrorists and arrested 1,500 people, Donald Trump freed nearly every single person that was arrested. Nearly every single person. There's a video. I'm not going to play it because we're running out of time, but there was a video where there was a woman who was convicted of the January 6th riot and domestic terrorist act. She decided that she felt guilty and wanted to have accountability, and she decided that she wasn't going to take the pardon. But those other 1,500 some people, they took that pardon. They took the pardon. Do you know what the United States is teaching us, minorities, that they're so hard on? The message to us is that if you hate minorities, if you're a racist, they're telling you it's okay to be a pedophile and a rapist. I'm gonna play the video because Donald Trump's constituents, people like Nick Fuentes, people like what's her name, Megyn Kelly, people like Pam Bondi are letting you know they don't care about the victims. Let's play this video. What is it? TPUSA had Kid Rock for the Super Bowl. Let's play what he had to say.
Olsen twins. Why is every guy in America waiting for these chicks to turn 18? I mean, you know what I say? There's grass on the field. Play ball.
Do you hear this animal? He said when it comes to the Olsen twins, if there's grass on the field, play ball. Kid Rock was invited to perform because they hated Bad Bunny because he was they thought that he wasn't an American citizen, and because he was a minority, they chose a pedophile that has, or excuse me, someone that's like a pedophile or agrees with it based on their lyrics. Somebody that said statutory is mandatory. That's what Kid Rock has in his lyrics. Let me get you another video of somebody.
This whole pedo thing, it's like, is it really pedophilia? I don't want to be the one that has to say it, but I guess I'm being forced to say it. It's not really pedophilia, okay? They weren't trafficking 5-year-olds. It was like they were technically not legal. Big difference, in my opinion. I know that's a controversial take, but that's not really the issue there, okay? The issue is not that they were barely legal teens, which is what it is. It's horrendous. It's awful. It's pedophilia. Okay, relax.
Are y'all hearing this? Salakia, and the next video I play, everybody in the class to be able to hear it. I'm gonna go ahead and turn this up behind me real quick so y'all can hear it too. But Nick Fuentes is somebody who supports Trump. He doesn't support Trump. He supports Trump. He hates minorities. He uses the N-word, but you can clearly see his character. You can clearly see what he has going on. And good night. Don't tell me. I think Kanai is saying that Kid Rock has a child with a black woman. Good night. Man, it extorted the culture, decided to go against us, support a racist, support somebody with 34 felonies, support somebody who has alleged child abuse on their record. And he got a child with a black woman. Good night. Let me play another video for y'all.
Women don't support me. Women are irrational and sensitive. It's just like my whole life. My whole life. Because I was always like the class clown. I was always like bullying women. And women have always been like simultaneously charmed, but also like, oh, stop it. Oh, you're so annoying. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. That's how women are with like with like my personality type, where you're like a rascal, you're like a bastard. And they're kind of like, because I'm like a rule breaker and stuff. And so women simultaneously are intrigued by that, but they also have to pretend like they're not, because women, it's sort of like how a lot of women want to be raped. And when I say raped, I mean like, that sounds bad when I say it like that. But there's like a lot of women that really want a guy to beat the shit out of them. But also they have to pretend, but part of it is they have to pretend like they don't.
Do y'all hear the voice of Donald Trump's people? Are y'all hearing this? Are y'all not understanding that the person that is in rulership right now has people that support him, that know that he has pedophilia on his jacket as far as the allegations? They know that he has grape on his jacket as far as allegations. They know that the man has 34 felonies. And like General Mahiman said, this isn't in spite of these charges. It's because of the charges, because that's who they are. These people are not going to give you justice. They don't care about your oppression. They're too busy wanting to grape women. They're too busy discounting the fact that Epstein Island has 5 and 8-year-old victims. Do you know how crazy it is that there's even rumors which haven't been substantiated, but who knows what's going on? But allegedly that they were actually having cannibalism go down with the children on this island. There's even an article about Jeffrey Epstein purchasing over 300 gallons of sulfuric acid right before the FBI probe came down on him. Who knows what he was hiding? Let me get y'all another video so we can keep showing you exactly what ISUPK has been telling you for years. These are the people that say they're upstanding citizens, but you'll clearly see they are not.
I've said this before, but just as a reminder, I do know somebody very, very close to this case who is in a position to know virtually everything. Not everything, but virtually everything.
This is Megyn Kelly. I'm gonna start the video over after this, but this is Megyn Kelly, who hates the fact that Bad Bunny didn't speak English. She hates the fact that minorities are in this country trying to make an honest living, but she doesn't care about the victims that were, I can't even bring the words because they're censoring what they've done to people. And if we say certain things, we'll get banned, but they don't care about that. The United States of America, the Western world, is going to continue to show you that as long as you're racist and you hate minorities, if you're a minority and you hate yourself and you align yourself with Trump, they'll let you know that you can be a pedophile, excuse me. They'll let you know that you can be a domestic terrorist. They'll let you know that you can be a thief, an unaliver. They'll let you know that you can lie under oath as long as you hate black people. As long as you hate Hispanic people, you can be a violator of civil rights and the breaker of constitutional law. All you have to do is follow the beast into hell, and you can be exactly what you want it to be. Or You could take a less carnal approach and you can follow the Most High God. You can stop looking at us like we're crazy and look at Megyn Kelly. Look at Nick Fuentes. You can look at Kid Rock and Donald Trump like they're the crazy ones. Because really, this is insanity. I'm going to go ahead and play the video for y'all.
I've said this before, but just as a reminder, I do know somebody very, very close to this case who is in a position to know virtually everything. Not everything, but virtually everything. And this person has told me from the start, years and years ago, that Jeffrey Epstein, in this person's view, was not a pedophile. This is this person's view, who was there for a lot of this, but that he was into the barely legal type. Like he liked 15-year-old girls. And I realize this is disgusting. I'm definitely not trying to make an excuse for this. I'm just giving you facts. That he wasn't into like 8-year-olds, but he liked the very young teen types that could pass for even younger than they were, but would look legal to a passerby. And that is what I believed, and that was what I reliably was told for many years. And it wasn't until we heard from Pam Bondi that they had tens of thousands of videos of alleged, forgive me, they used to call it kiddie porn, now they call it child sexual abuse material, on his computer, that for the first time I thought, oh, no, he was an actual pedophile. I mean, only a pedophile gets off on young children abuse videos. She's never clarified it. I don't know whether it's true. I have to be honest. I don't really trust Pam Bondi's word on the Epstein matters anymore. Yeah, so I don't know what's true about him, but we have yet to see anybody come forward and say, I was I was under 10. I was under 14 when I first came within his purview. Look, you can say that's a distinction without a difference.
No, it's not.
I think there is a difference. Yeah. There's a difference between a 15-year-old and a 5-year-old. Yeah.
Don't trust your 15-year-old, your 16-year-old, 17-year-old, 13 and under with these people. They've shown you who they are. The Most High is showing you in the scriptures who you should be. I'm going to play the last video, which is Donald Trump, and then we're going to go ahead and close it out.
Doing an interview and you talked about how you hope to end the war in Ukraine because it might help you get into heaven. How does this help? Does this help?
I mean, you know, I'm being a little cute. I don't think there's anything going to get me in heaven. Okay, I really don't. I think I'm not maybe heaven bound. I may be in heaven right now as we fly in Air Force One. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to make heaven.
If the leader of your country is doing things that he knows that's not going to get him to heaven, and if he's not trying to get to heaven or headed to heaven, where do you think he's leading you? Donald Trump is leading you straight to hell. Don't take the mark of the beast. Don't follow the beast. With that being said, that's my time. Shalom. Y'all go ahead. Y'all get them likes and shares up. Until next time.